Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, videos, whatever, wherever you are. I've had a really incredible weekend. I cracked my tooth, but you can't really see that at the moment, but this whole front tooth cracked and I had to go to the dentist this morning. It made me think about vanity and why, I don't know. You know, it's very interesting because as I did that, I think I tried to, a couple days I had my gap in my tooth here, right in the front tooth, and I used it as an experience to feel, to feel the feeling of being perhaps insecure with my looks or something like that, and you know, and even though like I'm like so aware of that and like I don't care, there's something in my mind that stopped me from actually expressing myself, or I had to go to appointments and I had to talk to people, but you could really see that there was a tooth missing. What is vanity? I mean, what is you know, what beauty and all of this stuff that we've created that, you know, sometimes we are just not accepted about who we are, or just our physical appearance, all of this that makes up this person, you know, our physical appearance, you know, like, I don't know, like that had with everything, like how we look, you know, like, you know, I realize, or I've known that, you know, like people feel very comfortable in how they dress and how they look. Women can't go necessarily outdoors without makeup on, sometimes, some of them. It's very interesting because we have this relationship with beauty, but how has beauty been defined? Like, how is it defined? And I find it really shallow, you know, like in the sense of like beauty. All of us are attracted to a certain type, but how do we get attracted to a certain type, or we prefer this type over this type, or you know, like, I don't know. I would like to think that it's really about chemistry, and I think chemistry between two people, or between people in general, and I think it's very just so weird and interesting. And you know, I talked to a friend of mine once that said that symmetric faces that are symmetrical, I guess of course, you know, like symmetrical are what we attracted to in our brains, and we're attracted to that, like symmetrics. And yeah, I don't know why I would find some people, like, you know, from the old me, I think old me, or whatever is in the condition of my mind, I would find some types more attractive than other types, and that's all good and everything, but I think it shouldn't really like be, it's so shallow. You know what I mean? Because I think that the way media is, and the way fashion and all fashion, like, and what we have been taught, I think fundamentally it's what we have been taught that is beautiful, or somehow maybe it's something we've learned. Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Isn't it interesting to ponder like how that is made, or taste is developed? I'm fascinated by that, and like, you know, like yeah, I don't know, like when I had my tooth, you know, I wanted to feel, you know, I'm so interested in feeling my vulnerability in so many different ways. So I play with my existence. I'm playing with my existence and realizing what I'm conditioned with and what I'm conditioned about. So like, this is a whole new, different kind of directional path that I go, because I'm just curious about this kind of personality and this kind of like person relating to the past, or still kind of like things are coming from the past, and how I'm conditioned, how I think, and the future, like, or the present moment, more or less being in the present moment and experiencing like so many different things that could make me feel vulnerable, you know, like sometimes like little things like, well, first, it wasn't really a little thing with my tooth, but I felt like, you know, when I realized that I had to go to a doctor, not the dentist, but I went, and it was really interesting because I really tried to be free and just, and I thought that I wouldn't tell him, you know, like I thought that's a method, like I can tell him I feel uncomfortable. Why is it I feel uncomfortable? I guess because I'm so used to my physical appearance being secure with it or something. And but what is security with it? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Do you get where I'm going here? I think that's really something very profound for me, like to recognize that I didn't feel comfortable with this gap in my mouth, even though it's temporary, and I could have said it, I guess, out loud, and I just didn't. I kind of keep my mouth closed and tried to talk without opening my mouth necessarily, and I'm sure he was quite suspicious, curious about that, and most of the people that I met, I guess, when I tried to just smile. I can tell you one thing, is that I really miss smiling. I really miss smiling those days, those 2 days with my boyfriend, and with my boyfriend, my partner, he's so cool. Like, he just totally, of course he is. I mean, you know, like, that's the kind of man I've chosen to be with. But I'm just finding that really curious in the last few days about physical appearance and how, like, we judge each other about all that, which is so shallow. I find it so shallow. Like, you know, already I'm formed, so I think that I have, you know, somehow I've created a preference. When I was really young, I've always been gay, so when I was really young, I had this fascination with the Marlboro Man, and he had a mustache, and I don't know what it was, but as I got older, I've always been attracted to those types of men. More so than other men, but I don't really have a type also too. So over time that also changed, but I think, like, really turns me on, like, these kind of men. But yeah, that said, I think it's how we so-called value people because of the way they look, or we judge them the way we look. You know, you say, when I put on a suit, it's a different kind of reaction that I get when I put on a suit than I get when I put on when I put on makeup. I become Messy Mary. That's a totally different reaction, and I think somehow it's been mixed in my head somehow over time with look and preference, or that feminine part of me, and I'm really interested in the feminine part of me. That's why Mary is there, just to play with that, because I've really kind of repressed that. And it's interesting also too, the assumptions that people make happen. You know, like a straight friend of my boyfriend and I, a really good friend, very open, very nice. He asked my boyfriend, do you prefer Maurice or Messy Mary? And Messy Mary is like, and people have been asking me if she's gonna go out. And she's not gonna go out. I don't have that need at the moment to express myself that way, although you never know, it might come. Could be a good experience, but who knows. Right now, she's just me here playing with my makeup and a wig, and it's really, really funny. And it feels great to, like, really put myself out there so I can feel this kind of vulnerability, which is like, it's like amazing that that's how I see it. Like, I really put it out there so I can just experience something that is, you know, not so, you know, I've had this perfectionist side of myself prior, and I find that so limited in the way I would think, and so that's changed. And so, but it's just putting myself out there with just expression, or being just putting myself out there with whatever it is, you know, just sharing the results of a creative moment that I'm feeling creative in, and I like to share it, and all of that, and that has nothing to do with sexuality, but what arises in my head is very different from, you know, I don't want people to think, and when that happens for me, it's like, I don't want people to think. It's the same thing with my tooth. I don't want people to think this about me, or that I could show that. You know, that is so conditional, and it's very interesting, I think, as an experiment for me. And so I feel really fucking brave by doing it, and whatever. So I've come past a certain thing, but it's been difficult and challenged because I know that people are gonna judge that. And also, it's really sneaking, I have a really sneaking suspicion that assumptions are so, not so productive. I think when we assume things about others, and we assume things about ourselves that, you know, that we cannot, I don't know, when we assume things about others, we make it something final, and that's also about us. And then we become, you know, when we repress a certain kind of feeling or something that we want to like explore. I don't know, this has happened to me. I don't know why, it's my journey, but it's like I want to explore the fact that I don't have to be like perfect. I want to explore the fact that I don't need approval. I want to explore my existence without feeling that I need, or this ego needs to be number one. Or I want to explore that, you know, the so-called experience of, like, most people will find that, I don't know, like a little off-putting if I have my tooth missing. It's so shallow. All of these kinds of things are shallow, and they arise in me. And anyway, so it's just really interesting to look at those kind of things and realize that that has been conditional too. Certainly when you start peeling back the onion of your life and you look at the conditioned things that have happened, especially people who are mid-age, you know, or in their 50s like myself, and curious about the less irrational suffering that I've always said, or this kind of feelings of inferiority, all those kind of things, which are not, I don't know, before they're labeled and experienced, they're there and they're really, really strong within ourselves, and it feels much more painful to open it up and let go of it than to keep it at times. But I think in the long run, it's much more, it produces much more suffering, and it becomes layered and layered and layered, and you know, you realize, or for me, and just in general, whatever, you're up to do whatever you want to do, but I think that repression, there are so many repressions that I've had that I feel like, I don't know, I didn't even know I had until I started to look at myself and realize that I'm living my life for myself and not for some social contract that I've made with others, or with the social system, which has been interesting from culture to culture here. I'm gonna leave you with one more thing that yesterday I went to the hospital, and I had a checkup, and I'm just saying, when I walked into the hospital, I live here in the Netherlands, and they're very open-minded here, and there's no I don't know, of course, prejudice or prejudice happens, you know, but with gay gender, sexuality, it's like gay pride is this week, and I walked into the hospital, and there was a rainbow rug that opened, walked into the hospital. It was huge, massive rug that was down, and also there was a dress, like a dress that was made out of all the flags, national flags, worldwide. And it was a suggestion of unity, and that it was in my hospital, like, and so it's a big, huge thing for me, because my condition, and from where I'm from Florence, Alabama, that really influenced me so much, that repressed me. And when I see the flag, and I see pride, and I see, you know, like the pride parade here, now I feel, no, I've been, since I've been away from home, I've seen much more liberal thinking and liberal countries that really understand or accept, oh my God, we're in this day and age where, like, we feel like we have to accept. I think I'm telling you, the moral of the story is accepting ourselves fully, and accepting all of the conditioning that we've had, and not judging ourselves, and allowing your mind to just have its kind of development, and to feel, and to grow, and we can change the way we think. And that's really beautiful, and things change, I realize. Things change, and it's a slow process, because your condition is so strong. It's really, really strong that sometimes you don't even know you had it, and it's really strong and painful to open it up and let go of it. because it's been an old system. Anyway, that's what I want to share with you today, and yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend, and I will see you when I see you. Thank you a lot. Bye-bye.